Hello everyone, welcome to Bonsai Expression. I'm Christoph, and today, well, if you have a look just behind me, I've got this giant blue cedar. I thought, well, let's give it a chop and let's start working on this one today. I mean, we're moving into the house soon. In fact, it's in 2 weeks. So, I need to reduce the height so we've got a bit more space, and it's obviously going to make it a lot easier to move. So if we start working on that today, make a big cut, we can get this one started, ready to go for next year. So let's do that today. I'll give you a spin. You can have a look. So you can see this thing is a bit of a monster. It is pretty tall. I think this, if you're working in feet, is about 8 foot tall. It goes all the way up here. And if you don't work in feet, I think it's about 2 meters, 2.5 meters maybe. And the trunk size, well, if I get you down there, you can have a look. And there you go. That's me gripping hold of it. So what I would like to do is get in there today and give it a chunk trap, probably somewhere down here. I don't want to go too far up because it's pretty tall. I know I've got all these branches further up this way, and that would be ideal, but it's a little bit too tall if I do that. So I'm going to bring it down here a little bit, hopefully get some back bud in. Now, my main issue is my big loppers, they're at the new house. So we're going to have to go old school and cut this with a saw. First things first, I'm going to have to move it over towards the bench. Now obviously this thing's going to be huge on the bench, but that's going to be the easiest way to work on it. So let's move it onto the bench and we'll start working on that. But you can just see the size of this thing. It's massive. Loads of growth on it. It's nice and healthy. And as you can see, look, you can see all the nice new growth on it. Just here. Slightly different colour. These are beautiful trees and they make beautiful bonsais. Now, if you're wondering what a 2.5 meter tree looks like on a bonsai bench, well, this is what it looks like. Do 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 do. Awesome music written by Christoph. Do 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 do. Yeah, sorry about the music, it's awful. But as you can see, this thing just is massive. It's ridiculous. But it's really nice, it's healthy. As you can see around it, it's got some awesome growth on it. So down here, you can see the trunk itself. I've no idea if this is a tree from seed or if it's, so we've got to look in, or if it's a graft or anything. I'll dig a bit of the soil away in a minute, and hopefully it's not a graft, but knowing these sort of trees, it probably is. Hopefully the graft is a good one and not a stupid horrible swelling, but we will only see as time goes by. So as you can see, I've got quite a bit of straight bit here, and then the first branches start. Unfortunately, I think this one might be dead. I'll spin it round. It does have a little bit of life at the back. I do need to do a scratch test, because if they're anything like the larch, some of them, like the larch, as I say, some of them stay dormant on the larch. But this one seems to be pretty dead. Yeah, that's dead. So that was going to come off. At least cut it back to there, because I've got that tiny little bit of growth just at the back. Couple of dead branches, as I say. But then as I move up to this bit, I've got plenty of growth here. But I don't want to go too far up. It's been staked, as you can see. If I could just, I know I'm a little bit everywhere. It does have a little bit of movement. So I'd like to cut it off somewhere in the region of here. So I've got this new nice branching all up here. Nice branching all up here, as I say. So I've got plenty of options. I've even got a ladybird, look at that. So I've got all this nice branching up here. If I cut somewhere in here, leave myself 1 or 2 branches, and then hopefully it back buds further down here, giving me the options of some growth. I do have this lower branch, which is really pretty strong. I've got what looks like dormant buds as well. So there's the idea for it. Cut it back. I don't know where exactly I'm going to cut it. As I say, I've got to use a saw. My loppers over at the house. So we've got this nice bend. I don't want it to be too tall either, but I don't want it to be too short in the same breath. So I'm thinking if I cut somewhere here maybe, if I just cut here, and I could potentially use this as a leader, because this one's nice and strong. Use that as a leader to help it maintain the growth. And I'll just cut it on a slight angle between that section and that section there. I think that's probably where we're going to go with it. And then we're going to lose all that up there. Now I've no idea if these take cuttings. I might try and do a bit of research in the meantime, off camera once I've done this. So I'll put you on a tripod, show you where I'm going to cut, and then we will see the destruction that happens. So cutting just here, as I say, nice and steady. And hopefully this won't take too long. Making quite nice headwork already. Now, obviously, my wrist is in the way, so I'm going to be nice and gentle. As I can see it protruding, and I get to a certain point, I'm going to slow it right down and move my hand out of the way. I don't want to be taking any chances and slitting my wrist open. Well, let's be careful about things when we're working on our trees. Don't put ourselves in harm's way. Now, as I say, slowly moving myself into a different position. I don't want to be catching myself. Now, obviously this tree is very heavy, so I need to support it at the same time. Now, as you can see, it's starting to keel over. Now, taking the weight, there we go. As you can see, this whole tree now has been taken off. And we're left with a nice cut. There we go. And as I say, we've got this one left. We will position that in place to go up. Take the position of the leader. What I think I would like to do is maybe neaten this off a little bit. In fact, actually no, it's got a nice little round curve to it. I'm going to put some cut paste on it, seal it off. And if you can see this one here, I've just trimmed it. I'm just looking to see if there's any live veins on it, and there's not, so I'm just going to take it out. Put that back, snip it out, it's dead completely. This one, as we looked at before, I know it's not in your eye line completely, but I'm just going to continue to snip it back a little bit, see if there's anything live on it. And there's not. There we go. Snip it back a little bit more. Still nothing. So I'll just leave it. This one as well, while we're here, snip back, see if there's anything living on it. Nope. Nothing on the scratch either. Just keep going back. Just take it off, that's dead. So right at the base there's only something living. So again, let's just get rid of all that dead bit. So here we have a nice little cut. So I'm just going to find my cut paste, and we're going to put a hell of a lot of cut paste on the top there. Make sure it's all sealed off and we're not going to get any infections. Nice bit of cut paste here. Start making it more malleable by giving it a bit of squishing down. So the heat in our hands, even though I've got gloves on, the heat in our hands will make it mold more pliable. And then we just put this on. This cut paste, this cut paste, if you've never used it before, we use it once we make cuts. hence why it's called a cut paste. And this helps seal and helps the tree to seal the cuts quicker. It helps to seal more efficiently as well. Helps the tree to let me just move this. Helps the tree to keep all its energy in without losing too much of the vital sap. Helps round off. Helps the wound round off a lot more efficiently, and most importantly, it helps the tree to fight any infections. So it prevents any infections getting in there, any bugs or anything like that getting in there. Oh, I've got a bug on me. Any sap loss, any of them critters, them bugs that like to come and eat their sap, that can generate infections. None of the bugs can get in there, causing infections to the tree. So there we go. That's all nicely sealed off. So that cut paste can now help the tree do its thing, seal off the wound more efficiently. So basically we're adding an extra layer to nature. I'm just going to pop one there as well, just to help it out. Bit of overkill, but we're going to do it anyway. Nice little cut. Now, really what I would like to do is just add a piece of wire just to hold that in position as well. So I'm just going to whop a bit of wire out. So I'll just show you by moving the camera angle a little bit upwards and grab a piece of wire. So I'm going to have to use a little thicker wire than normal, just because that branch is a bit thicker. Now, I don't need an awful lot. All we're doing is guiding this into position. So we'll use this branch next to it as an anchor. And then we'll come under this branch. Through the needles. Try not to trap any of these needles on this branch. There you go. I say we're not wiring it properly. All we're doing is just guiding it into position to help that be the new leader. Now that's in position, I'm just going to come back, trim these sections down. This very top bit's died off, so I'm just going to lose that. And then I will trim back here. Now it's probably a bit difficult to see because I've got the tree in the background, so let me lose that tree in the background and I'll show you. So now you can see I've wired the top section. We've put cut paste here and here. I've got this branch and I've got this long branch here up the top. I've got one here and I've got one just coming down here. Got quite a few buds everywhere. This branch is the one that we just started removing. We've got one little bud just at the back, and as I say, I started taking it back just to see if there was anything alive. Just gonna take it back to here and just see if anything else comes back off it. Did the scratch test, nothing was coming on, still nothing. I must have something towards the bottom, so I've got this one. Is it worth keeping? Possibly, possibly not, but I'm going to leave it for the time being. That one bud might help produce some more buds around here, which I could eliminate this one here. So I'm going to leave it for the time being. Down at the bottom I've got this nice long branch as well. I'm going to leave it pretty long, but I will oh, there's something in there. Get rid of that. I will bring it in just a little bit, but not too much. So let's take it, I don't know, it's quite a nice length actually, to be honest. In fact, just let's Yeah, let's bring it in a little bit. Let's bring it down to here. I'll always do some more growing out. I'll leave this one the same at that length, but this one here, I'm going to reduce it back. Looking at it, doesn't need to be too long. I'm going to bring it back to here. I'll take this under one as well, and I'll take this up to there. Snip this top one off. Just take that end. Okay. So there's not an awful lot in terms of branching really, just on the trunk itself, although we do have all these buds. Dormant buds, yes. Have they got life in them? Not too sure, but we'll find that out. Now we've cut this tree off here. Theoretically, these buds should produce and pop out. One thing I do want to do is I want to take off some of this topsoil and see where we are in terms of the radial roots, see if they're how far down they are, and I want to see as well if we've got a grafted tree or not. I did just see as well I've got a branch here sticking out, which is obviously dead. I want to take that off. Let's get that out of the way. So let's get it out. And I've also found a slug as well, so we'll remove that. That's not needed. Take some of this soil off. So rather than you watching me scrape it, I'll just come back once we get a little bit into it. Now we've dug into the soil a little bit, as you can see, probably about 2.5–3 centimeters worth. And you can see maybe, I don't know if it's a root that's gone round or if it's the flare of the roots. I'm not sure, looks like maybe a root, but we've got a bit of a flare going on. Only time will tell when we come to repot this in the spring. But as you can see, it goes down further anyway. So that's as much as I'm willing to go to today. So that's it. If you're wondering how much I took off, well, this is a sight to behold. It's basically a Christmas tree. If anyone wants a Christmas tree, come and get it. But yeah, absolutely beautiful this one was. There you go. So I'll do you a spin of the completed tree. Back in its pot, as you can see what it looks like now. There's the root system. It's now been on show. It's not really much of a root system. So the root flare itself, we've gone down about 3 centimeters. Now we've got a nice trunk line. So if I put it on this angle, I think this is going to be the ultimate angle, just about here. Are you ready? So if this branch probably not going to be used, but if you come up, you can see it does have a curve. It's probably better there. It does have a curve going up. So if I swing it round, just there, you can see it move. So it's got a slight curve in it. So that's where we're going to be using. Let's try and put that as the front. So it goes over, and as you can see, if I go straight up, it does curve off. So that's going to be the front we'll use. So if we go up, and then you've got this section. There's the chop we just did. You can see, all puttied up, looking smart. We've wired the top into position. Pretty decent wiring job if you ask me. There's our new leader. Branches are all in. There we go. Nothing too strenuous today. Well, the sun's out now and I can't see anything. I hope you can see me. Well, of course you can see me, you're on camera. Anyway, Blue Cedar Atlas, all done. So we've gone from this huge tree down to this, well, it's not quite a small tree, but it's a good sized tree and it's all set, ready to grow up now. Hopefully we'll get a nice flush of growth, pop them buds. Well, I'm hoping anyway, because we're at the end of, what we're in? Early, no, start of September. So we've got about, I don't know, a month before it, all the trees start to go into dormancy. So, am I doing this too late? Fingers crossed not, because I extend my growing season by, ta-da, the grow tents. So, I get an extra month, so that's 2 months worth of pushing growth, and then I can bring this one into the house as well, because I've got a conservatory now. So the conservatory is basically a all glass, and it's just used in my new home as a grow room for me for all the tropicals. It's basically my plant room, so that's going to come in as well, and I'm going to extend it by another half a month. So we're going to get 4, 8, 9, maybe even 10 more weeks of growing, and then I'm going to let it go to sleep in the greenhouses. So yeah, it's going to get plenty of extra growing, so it's going to be fine, and extend that growing season. Then I'm going to let it go to sleep. Spot on with the work. I'm going to have no issues with it. Anyway, if you like this one, guys, please do give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. My missus is going to give me a thumbs up, even though she's not going to watch the video, because she's going to come out, she's going to say I've got no big tree over here, and it's going to make life easier for when we move. So you should give me a thumbs up just for that. Makes my life easier when she doesn't moan at me. Don't tell her. Shh. She shouldn't see this video anyway. I know she's going to watch it. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good day. Bye now.